Welcome to another episode of BJ and Coffee. That's Bill. I'm Jim, and no, I'm not drinking coffee tonight, Bill. What about you?
Nope, I'm drinking a nice cold glass of Mountain Dew.
Urine? Looks like urine from here.
It's Mountain Dew, but my dad always used to say, years ago, be like, "Oh yeah, urine in a glass."
Essentially, I got blue Powerade tonight. Long day. I'm down a quart, so I got to refill the hydration station.
Hydration station.
So let's see. Let's get the housekeeping out of the way. As you all may know, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/BJ and Coffee. We are on Twitter at coffee_BJ, and you can email us at bjandcoffee@gmail.com. And if you're listening to us, you can actually find us on YouTube. Just do a quick search for BJ and Coffee, and we'll pop right up like the hyper caffeinated bitches we really are.
There's no caffeinated drinks except for mine, which is Mountain Dew, or as my father used to call it, urine in a glass.
Yeah. I was debating. I was like, I should make a cup of coffee. And I'm like, no, because I got to, like, once this is done and up, I got to crash because I got to work tomorrow morning, the butt crack of damn dawn. Oh,
Gotta go get that hooking done.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I can't wait till I'm done with my training because then I go from first shift to second shift. So the earliest I'll start is like noon. I'm good with that.
What's that mean for Saturdays and Sundays?
Saturdays I'll be working till 11 and Sundays I'll be working to 8. So we may have to find a different day. But Fridays till 10, Thursdays I'm off like Tuesdays and Thursdays. So we may have to like record on Thursdays to push it out on a Monday.
Yeah, either or just move the day and make a weekday.
We'll work with it. And don't worry, to all of our listeners and viewers, we will let you all know what's going on as it goes.
Yeah, if you got Tuesdays off, we'll record Tuesday night.
True.
Push it out for Wednesdays.
I got up too because Bill, you know what's going on in my life. I have to pick one of those nights to be the official date night for the missus. Because one night a week is the official date night, so I don't want to fuck that up.
Thursday is hard for me because usually Thursday nights I got to get to bed early because I got to be up at 4 a.m. to be to work at 5.
So, we may have to do Tuesdays then. But like I said, we'll hash it out. What the hell are y'all getting into over there, Carter? Hey, freaking dogs, man! I tell you, worse than kids.
Since construction's restarted back up at fucking a state park up in Messina, so that makes for an extra long fucking day.
Well, yeah, at least you got a job.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay, let's see. For our regular viewers, yes, my beard has been changed. Funny story. For a lot of years, I was never allowed to have more than a mustache and goatee because of my work. When I got out of the emergency services field, I said, fuck it, and I let the beard grow. I'll be honest, for a lot of years, it was when I would let it grow, if I took it short like this, it would be super patchy. And I just was suggested I try it again, and I'm pretty happy it's not too patchy. I just got to go hit the barbershop now so I can have them edge it up and make it look exactly how I want, because God knows trying to do your own beard in the mirror like this is not the easiest
thing to do.
Even if you get one of them fucking Manscaped clipper thingies that everybody keeps advertising on Facebook. I'm like,
screw that. That shit don't fucking work. Anybody will tell you that. Jesus Christ. I'm like, even when they even advertise the $1 a day or something like that, or $1 or fucking refill or something like that for the men's shave club.
Oh, yeah.
Do you realize how much it costs to even start it?
Uh-huh.
Like, give me a break. It's really not $1.
Dude, I go to Costco. I get a handle with like 20 triple bladed cartridges for like $12. And I just go through them till they're dead. Then I go get another one. And it lasts me like almost a year. Well, it did last me for quite a while because I had the full beard going, but now it'll probably go through them a little bit quicker. But still, I'm okay with that. So yeah, I changed that up a little bit, and yeah, trying to step up, and I'll get into that. I'll get into that at the very end. And there's a reason why I'm going to save that till the end, which you'll get when I get there. But I want to start out actually because earlier this week was September 11th.
Yep.
2 days ago. This is Sunday, so Friday was September 11th, and while we always should remember what happened on September 11th, I think especially right now with everything going on in this fucking country right now, I think it's more important even to remember September 12th, because starting at September 12th, 2001, for quite some time, we saw a country that came together like it hasn't since the 1770s. And even then, it was kind of hit or miss. This country became more united after the World Trade Center attacks than it ever had been or ever has been since. And to see where we are today, especially with that kind of hanging there,
I'm just gonna put it out there real fast. Is that day, the 12th of September, it holds a significant meaning for a lot of people, a lot of ethnic backgrounds, because it literally showed that the country could come together.
Exactly.
And I think at this point right now that, yes, racism is a real thing here in this country. It has been for many years.
Well,
let's put the differences aside and let's start working together.
I'm going to throw a caveat at that. Now, what a lot of people don't know, if you've never met my wife or you don't know her story, she is biracial. She's multiracial actually. She's got some Caucasian, she's got some Black, she's got some Native American, she's got some South American Indian. I mean, she's a little bit of everything like that. And we've actually had some interesting conversations about the concept of systemic racism. A prime example being our Syracuse, New York police chief, Kenton Buckner. Now, before anybody wants to talk systemic racism, Chief Buckner grew up dirt ass poor in the fucking ghetto without a father, just with nothing, and pulled his ass up, decided he was going to make things better, and became a police officer and is now a police chief of a middle-sized city in central New York.
He was from Arizona, wasn't he?
I was going to look it up, but I forgot to look it up ahead of time. That's my bad. But
I think it was Arizona. If I remember it. If I don't call me on that one. But I know it was from I think it was Arizona. Or I'm thinking of somebody else.
But here's the point. The point is anybody that wants to say that it's just systemic racism holding them back, I don't think that's 100% true, and especially not all the time, because I've seen, I don't care what color your skin is, if you don't put the effort in to get yourself out of where you're at and better yourself, you're the only one holding yourself back. Nobody else is.
I got a good friend that, my wife and I hang out with her and her one son on quite a few occasions. Actually, she went camping with us, and she's a Black person, and I guess some of the things that she says, we've had our talks about, Black Lives Matter. We've had our talks about different things, and even about race, stuff like that. What she gets offended about is when people sit there and call them African Americans. And the reason why she gets upset about it, and I'll even say it because I agree with her on this one, believe it or not. She is not from Africa. She has no ties to Africa. Actually, she has probably more Italian in her than anything else. And I think she said part of like Jamaican in her, and then I forgot what the other nationality was.
Mm-hmm.
And her exact words is, she goes, "We're not African American, we're Americans."
Yeah, And here's the thing: when it comes to specifically referring to one racial group as African American, it's something you almost never hear me do, and there's a reason for that. Because many years ago, I was talking to somebody, and it was, it wasn't like a good friend; it was just somebody I was talking to, and I said, "Well, as an African American, how do you feel?" Something like that. And holy shit, dude. It was like I unleashed the fucking floodgates. I got up one side, down the other, how they were not African American. They had no African roots. They were from Grenada. I mean, and so forth and so on. So I honestly, I stopped using the term because it's true. I mean, unless you are, yes, I'm happy to say I'm Italian American. You want to know? And the only reason I would say that, my grandparents were off the boat Italian. And I think unless if you're only one or two generations removed from your family members that actually came over here from the whatever country they started in, yeah, if you're one or two generations off of that, then okay, I'm good with that. But once you get past that, it's fucking pointless. Yes, my heritage is Italian and Irish, but I can't really say I'm an Irish American because we're talking 4, 5, 6, 7 generations back for the Irish side that my family came here. And I'm not going to get into how they came here. We've talked about that before. Some of them came over as white slaves, yada yada. However, on my dad's side, yeah, my grandparents did come over here on they immigrated legally through the proper channels and came in through New York City. And yes, I'm Italian American on that side. But you know what? It doesn't affect how I go about my day-to-day life. Am I proud of my heritage? Of course I am.
Like anybody should be. I mean,
but it also is like anybody that, and it's specifically Italian. And yes, I talk with my hands a lot because I am half Italian, but specifically Italian. I mean, growing up with that old school, old world Italian concept. Now, mind you, my grandparents were the type that said, "You live in America, you will speak English." My dad, and his sisters were never even allowed to learn Italian. That's how that went.
well,
But
back in the day, of course, back when we were growing up, there wasn't really a lot of other languages like there is now. Um,
well, here's my thing: if you or I were to move to, pick a country, let's just say Germany, just for shits and giggles. If we were like, you know what, we have a business thing, it's going to go over huge, and it's going over huge in Germany. We're going to pick up and move our families to Germany because that's where we're going to make some money and be some rich ass motherfuckers. We're going to learn German before we go there because guess what? Most of them, I mean, a lot of them speak English, but once you get into the smaller towns where you're going to the little mom and pop stores and things like that, there isn't as much English. And if you don't speak the local language, you're pretty fucked. They don't cater to English like we cater to everybody else over here.
oh, absolutely. And so, I mean, obviously, yeah, you're going to move there, but before you move there, I mean, just maybe pick up a language before you move there.
Enough to get by. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
What you like, and here's the thing, and I'm not saying don't like if you come over from, well, we'll say Italy, like my grandparents did. Now, my grandparents would go back and forth in Italian. Now they grew up into their teenage years in Italy, so they would speak Italian back and forth all the time, which I learned a few interesting words as a kid, I will admit. But now in the home is one thing, but once they went out, if they went to the store, they went to church, they went to, my grandfather had his own business, and if he was out on work, it was, unless it was somebody he knew from the old country, it was English, 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 nothing else. And and I think that was the appropriate way to go about it.
I grew up in a small Italian town myself, and I'll tell you, everyone there.
All right.
When I was growing up, there was only one elderly man there that was actually from Italy, and he only knew Italian.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you didn't know Italian and he was trying to talk to you and trying to have a conversation, and you didn't know Italian, you were screwed.
I speak Italian Sign Language.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, you would have to have somebody that was around that knew Italian for you to even have a
Exactly.
conversation with him.
And
Being a firefighter, going to his house, how do you think how hard it was for that?
Mamma Mia.
Yeah, Jesus, come on.
um, and it's, and again, I'm not saying people aren't welcome, but I'm saying, if we as Americans were to move to any other country, we would be expected to learn the language. Why don't we have the same expectations here? Yes, it's the melting pot, but, and I'm not saying get rid of your heritage or ignore your heritage, none of that. Celebrate your heritage, but you also chose to move here. You want to be a part of this country that includes speaking English. There's actually several states now where you go to take your driver's license exam or your driver's license test or any state test, it's English only, nothing else. You can't read English, you're done, because the street signs are all in English. I mean,
Well, I mean, you can't blame them.
exactly.
I haven't seen a street sign in Spanish, and I'm not picking on any culture or any other language. I'm just
Honestly, the only place I've ever seen any type of municipal signs in a language other than English was many years ago when I was down in New York City in Chinatown. But
yeah.
that's a whole different world down there.
Yeah, some of their signs are actually literally in Chinese too,
the
which is which is crazy.
Now, I will say, I mean, around here, if you go to the Onondaga Nation, there are a lot of signs that are in the Onondaga language. However, that's technically not the United States anymore. Once you cross that line,
That is nation land, and
it's sovereign territory.
matter of fact, they even drive around without registered vehicles and plates on their vehicles. And
You know what? And that's the way their rules work. And because I remember one of the ambulance companies I worked for, we covered the Onondaga Nation. And the first shift I worked the first shift we had down there, and the supervisor who was working with me was trying to get this patient. He was trying to talk this patient into going to the hospital after the chief said, "No, we're done here." And I came back. I told him I had all the equipment in the rig, and I was like, "Dude, you got about 30 seconds, or I'm heading back. Period, with or without you." He gets in the rig. He's like, "You're really going to leave?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "You don't understand." I said, "We may be certified by New York State as EMTs, paramedics, whatever." I said, "But once we cross that line into this nation, it is not New York State anymore. The rules do not apply the same way. You are the outsider now. And when
your
they say
your
it's time to leave,
your
you get the fuck
your
out."
New your New York certification means diddly shit to them.
I mean, they appreciate the fact that we're there to take care of them, but by the same token, when they say time to go, you get the fuck out.
Yep, I don't feel like getting skulled. I'm good, thanks.
Carter, stop being an ass. Get over here. Freaking dogs, I tell you, they're having it today. So it's, but yeah, it's, I don't know.
But I honestly think it's time that we start putting our differences aside, and we need to move on. And I get race. Racism is a real thing. It happens every day.
Well,
But
so racism is against everybody though, because here's the thing. You
well,
go
yeah,
take a civil service. I took the civil service exam for the fire department a number of years ago. I scored 100 on it. I didn't get any bonus points. I didn't even make the fucking list because, and now part of it's racist, part of it is not, because veterans get extra bonus points. But if you are a minority taking a civil service exam, you get bonus points for the color of your skin.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, if everyone worked together and started changing things and making things better than what it is,
Yep.
we'd be living in a we're living in a great country now, but we can make it better than great.
Well, we're living in a good country. Honestly, there's a lot of things that need to change to make this a great country again. And I'm not even trying to get on the Donald Trump train with that. It's not about anybody's politics in particular. It is about politics in general, for the simple fact that our current national politics have killed this country, or are slowly killing it, depending on how you want to look at it. But again, trying not to get into that right now.
Well, you also got to remember too. I mean, Donald Trump is. It doesn't even matter if it's Donald Trump. But whoever is president, if you're Democrat or Republican, you're only one man against the House.
Yep.
You know, and if the House doesn't make what you're trying to put in place, they're going to fight you on every, thing that you try to sit there and do.
Here's the thing, though. And some people, and if you're listening, for any of our listeners or viewers, what I'm about to say, I want you to put all of your politics aside for a few minutes and listen to what I'm about to say, because when you really think about it, when you take out, I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, Independent, Green Party, Communist Party, whatever, Libertarian, none of that. None of that applies to this, because here's the thing. When this country was originally founded, it was founded on the concept of for the people, by the people, where the citizens would take turns, helping to run the national government. And it was never meant to be a career. Donald Trump, the current president, number 45, is actually the closest we've ever come in recent history. In the last 120 years or more, he is the closest we've had to what our forefathers intended this country to be, because he's not a career politician. He is a citizen. Yes, he's a millionaire. I get that. He's a businessman. I get that. But he's not a career politician, because politics was never intended by our forefathers to be a career. It was intended to be a civil service, a duty you did to support your country. That was it. It was never intended to be a long-time career. And honestly,
that all changed. That all changed when they started offering, political science, in schools.
Exactly. Well, actually, though, poli-sci is not a bad subject, because
I'm not saying it's a bad subject. But if that's all you're going to take going to college, then obviously you're doing it because you want to become a career politician.
Or you want to work in the news industry.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying that, don't take it, blah, blah, blah. You want to take it, but take other things too, because you know what? You don't need to be a politician the rest of your life.
Exactly. I really think that, and I've said this before, is I think what we need to do is we need to look at term limits all the way down. I mean, we've got term limits on the president. We need to take that all the way down through both houses of Congress, through your state, your governors, your state legislatures, your counties, your towns and villages and cities, all the way down. You've got to put term limits all the way through, because that's the only way this country is going to get back to what it was intended to be, which is for the people, by the people. Because once you make every one of those positions short term, say everybody's at 2 terms, which is 8 years, give or take, because most places run 4-year terms. So if everything is a 4-year term and you're limited to 2 terms, that's 8 years you can be in there. You are no longer, we are taking away the power of the corporations and the special interest funds and all those people that basically buy the career politicians and, what's the word I want? They sponsor their lifestyle. Because honestly, if you're only there for 8 years, that's not enough time to build up those long-term multi-million-dollar relationships. And guess what? We would see a lot of good changes. We'd see this country come back to being more about the people than the companies.
It's not just that though either, though, Jim. It's like let's take a little step farther into it. Actually, is you had, Donald Trump's a millionaire, so he can afford to run for president. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
President, to run a campaign to be president costs millions of dollars. Everybody knows that.
Yep.
It costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to run for, a state governor.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't have money, okay.
Yep.
Your chances of even running are very slim.
Yeah. Unless you've got friends with deep pockets, which brings out.
Exactly. So,
but, here's the thing.
For someone like you or I, is what I'm saying is we ain't got friends with deep pockets. So if you or I wanted to run, we're already up creek without a paddle.
Exactly. And now here's the thing. This is where I think the other change that needs to happen is that you take the finances out of politics. Now you basically create a situation where the media is open, like you get X amount of time per week for each candidate that's running to push their platform. You can't sling against anybody else. You can only talk about what you intend to do, what your plans are, nobody else. And that way you keep it positive. You get away from these negative bullshit campaigns where all they do is sling mud. You basically are educating the people as to what you stand for, which allows the people to make a better educated decision about who they're voting for.
I'm going to go one step further. I watched a little bit of the DNC and a little bit of the RNC for both Biden and Trump.
Yep.
Okay. I saw more slander towards the president in the DNC than I did for the RNC. Now, granted, there was a few times where where the people that the Republicans would say something about Joe Biden. They did, but a lot of it was more about facts. Things that he said he was going to do in his 47 years of being in politics.
Yep.
Than what he didn't do.
Dude, he's been a politician almost as long as I've been alive.
Exactly. So it wasn't really a slander towards him. It was more of, how can he say he's going to do all this stuff when he hasn't done it in his 47 years?
Exactly.
So I got to give, and putting politics really aside, I still have to give the Republican Party noms for actually not going after Biden like Biden and his regime was going after our president.
Yep.
And it made me, really think of, well, who do you really want to vote for,
Yep.
But it's still not over yet. We still have another whole month to go.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
to
see what happens, I guess from what I'm reading so far, there's going to be no debate this year.
Which is kind of sad. That's actually doing a major disservice to the American people.
Only because Biden did speak up and say he wasn't going to debate Trump. But
I wonder why.
And it falls down to the news media. Okay, I've bedazzled a little bit watching CNN just to see what it is they're saying.
Yep.
Jesus.
Wait, did you just say you bedazzled?
Yeah, well,
You got sparkly jeans now, Bill?
No, I'm actually wearing shorts right now. And
you got sparkly shorts with gemstones all over them?
Oh, yeah.
You get the bedazzler out and just go to town on your shorts?
Yeah, my daughter's got one upstairs, But anyways.
You wanted to go in the bedroom tonight and make it like a disco with the mirror balls?
All right. No. But anyways, I mean, I watched a little bit of CNN, and it's not even news anymore over there. It's literally of them playing clips, little clips that they put together to bash our president.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, where's the news?
Here's the thing I'm going to say. Now,
it's like watching a bad podcast. Well, not talking about us here, right? I'm talking about CNN.
Now, here's the thing. I remember, growing up as a kid, it was Walter Cronkite on the nightly news. And I'll tell you, that's what we need to get back to, where literally he sat there, read you the information, and that was it. It was, here's the information, here's the facts of what's going on, period. No slant, no bias, no opinion. Here is the facts. And that's what we need to get back to, because especially, like, I may not be working in it now, but eventually I'll get back to it, is marketing. And I'll tell you, when you work in marketing, and especially when you throw yourself heart and soul into something like that, you start learning about it. I could take clips from anybody and make them look good, bad, or totally awful just by how I put them together and what kind of context I had. If you take a clip of somebody saying, "Oh, that's just that's just a horrible thing. That's a horrible thing," with no context, you don't know what they're saying is horrible. If your story is about something good and your clip is them saying this is horrible, you just made them look bad.
Absolutely.
it's really, there's no context anymore. They take the context away and give you the context they want you to have. And that's why we don't actually have news anymore. We have infomercials. CNN, world's longest infomercial. MSNBC, also world's longest infomercial. That's all they are anymore. The nightly
and,
news.
and the other day, my wife pointed out to me, and I didn't really think anything of it. And because TMZ has always been, about like celebrities and stuff like that, they are now changing their ways and starting to go towards the Democratic, side of things. And it's like, one news source that I used to go to just look and see what's going on with celebrities.
Yeah.
Was literally going on the side of the Democratic Party.
I mean,
they used to be biased. They're not. It's becoming that they're not anymore.
TMZ was always just a pure entertainment show. It was what kind of stupid bullshit are celebrities getting into now?
Which was cool. It was great to have.
It was entertainment. It was fun to watch. It made you realize that celebrities were just like us.
But but now it's literally become a platform for the Democratic Party, and I'm like, come on, like, don't change something that has been working for you guys.
Well, the rest of the news media did, and they seem to be getting away with it. So
it's like, I'm so over this news media, and it's getting horrible. The freedom of press
is getting a little out of hand.
It's getting a little out of hand lately. I mean, I'm going to go on a kick real fast on this real fast. And the one thing CNN did was they took a bunch of clips where Donald Trump was supposedly calling our soldiers and
he mispronounced things.
Veteran. I'll get to that part too in a minute. Hang on. But thanks for the reminder. Look. Anyways, he was calling veterans, current soldiers, his chief of military and staff, a bunch of losers.
Oh yeah, and then like a day later, everything came out.
I want to capitalize on the video that CNN real fast was sharing, and what they're trying to say is, that he was calling, even our they took it out of context. Actually, what he said was, he was started off with saying, whatever happened to the element of surprise. And he was talking about when we were going to war.
Yep.
Okay. It used to be, this was years and years ago, it used to be, if the United States was going to bomb a country, okay, that we're having a beef with,
yep,
we didn't know about it until well after it happened.
Exactly.
Okay. And then it all changed after 9/11. Been like, oh, we're going this day and we're going to bomb Iraq, we're going to bomb Afghanistan. Wait a minute here. We shouldn't be talking about when we're going to bomb them, because now they're going to expect it. So yes, he was calling those people at that time. Now maybe he could have used different wording other than saying loser. But again, he's not a career politician like we were talking about.
Yep.
Okay. So he doesn't have the fancy lingo like career politicians have. He's a businessman.
Exactly.
So yes, he used the word loser. He wasn't actually calling career, veterans and, his chief of staff losers. He was saying losers for not doing an element of surprise, that the media is taking too much control of losing our element of surprise. And that's what he was trying to say.
Well, why do you think it took so long to get rid of somebody like Osama bin Laden? Because every time they went to do something, it was in the press before the military actually got the orders.
Exactly. My father, who was in the Army, said the same thing. He goes, Jesus, he goes, when I was in the Army and I was stationed in Korea, he goes, I didn't know anything about a bombing in Korea or anywhere. He goes, until the day afterwards when I was getting a phone call because his unit would go in and help clean up afterwards.
Yep.
He goes, I didn't know they were going to bomb this place. He goes, but I knew afterwards when I got called to duty. I'm like, Why aren't we doing that today? It's because the freedom of press has gone too far out of control.
Well, it's not even freedom of the press. It goes back to, there was an old naval saying. So it goes, loose lips sink ships.
Yes.
And unfortunately, suddenly loose lips is the norm, and the ships are all getting sunk. And that's the problem.
Well, okay. Well, let's look at. I mean, let's go back when we got Osama bin Laden. Obama was president. Joe Biden was vice president. Hillary Clinton was actually sitting in the same conference room
Yeah,
as
she was like
Biden
she was
and
a secretary of state or some shit.
yes, if I remember right, yes. The news media literally reported they're sitting there watching the whole thing go down from SEAL Team 6. Why are we watching SEAL Team 6 going in there and taking a man?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we shouldn't be.
We shouldn't have heard about it till the next day or 2 days, 3 days later.
But we knew about what was going on that exact moment.
Yep.
Now, I'm surprised they got him.
Got lucky.
I'd love to buy that guy a fucking beer who got him and who took that shot. But I mean, and then they're bitching because the freaking guy who took the shot wrote a book afterwards about SEAL Team 6.
Yep.
But it's okay for them to put on the news of what's going on. But he's getting in trouble for writing a book.
Exactly. Priorities are skewed, man. Priorities are skewed.
Oh, well, here's the other thing on President Trump the other day. It was CNN, I believe was it Friday night, hon?
Yeah, Trevor.
It was Friday night. It was that Don, oh my God, I can't remember his last name now. Was it?
Don Lennon.
Don Lennon, I think his name is.
Okay.
He was doing his news report. His commentary is what I would rather call it.
Yep.
And he posted a video of Donald Trump mispronunciating words and saying, how could we have this as a president? He can't even speak right. So he's mispronunciated a couple words in something that he, a speech that he's wrote or something like that. And I'm like, so you can't mispronunciate a word today? I didn't know that. A newscaster now was a grammar Nazi.
Pretty much.
But this is what I'm saying. This is what it's come down to. They've literally come down to the freedom of press has literally gone way too far.
Well, and here's the thing. They're going to ding on Donald Trump for mispronouncing words, yet they're going to gloss over the fact that Joe Biden half the time can't string a full comprehensive sentence together. I mean, really.
Exactly.
Actually, just for shits and giggles.
I don't think there's one time that he's not screwed up a whole sentence. He's probably screwed up a whole sentence and was sniffing a little girl.
Yep. Well,
just saying. But I mean, it's gotten ridiculous. It really has. Yeah, I
can't.
I'd like to see a change on it, but I don't think we'll see a change anytime soon.
Nope. I can't even anymore. But that's one of the reasons why I'm glad I just decided to walk away from the whole concept of politics, because it just got to the point where it's not even worth it. Carter, what do you got?
No, but it's always a good thing, though, to talk about it right here, though, and let our people know what's really going on in this world.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that, it should be seen for our viewers and our listeners. And I mean, it's getting ridiculous.
Sorry, give me 1 second.
Where'd you go? Would you fall off
Sorry.
the face of this earth?
No, dog had something he shouldn't ought to had. Had to remove it from his mouth. And he's the one with resource aggression issues, so it took a second.
Sure, Harley's over here walking around. He decided to find a soap cap today and decided to chew on that today, so now he's got diarrhea.
Yep, that'll do it. I had a USB adapter that Carter decided he was going to chew up.
Yeah, we had to keep everything high up away from Harley like that too. He likes to try to grab everything and chew on it.
But it's welcome to having dogs.
Yep.
Oh, speaking of dogs, I was in a conversation about bed sizes the other day, and was told that with the number of dogs I have, for two people to sleep comfortably on a bed, it would need to be at least a California king size, if not bigger. Now, California king, I believe, is 84 inches wide, which is 7 feet. No. Yeah, 7 feet. California king mattress size. Yeah, 84 inches wide is a California king. But the and I was laughing at that, but I said, speaking of dogs, it came up to, and then I was asked, is there anything larger? And I said, not unless you go custom, and that's a whole different ball game.
I got attacked Friday and almost bit by 4 Yorkies.
Hold on. Hold that thought for 1 second. And so for our viewers, scooch. For our viewers, this is the Yorkie. This is the size of a Yorkie right here. This is Yorkie. For these, scare Bill.
Oh, no. They literally were aggressive as fuck. I was dropping off fucking air conditioners off at a company out in Clayton, New York.
Yep.
And didn't know that their warehouse has 4 fucking guard dogs and they're Yorkies. And they've trained them apparently very well.
So for those of you who are listening, look at where you are on the timestamp, subtract 1 minute, go to YouTube, search BJ and Coffee, and find this episode, and then get to this time spot in the video, and you will see the size of the dog that scares Bill.
Your Yorkie doesn't scare me because your Yorkie's adorable as hell and fucking loves me.
She's got a little bedhead right now. I just woke her up. But she's also like 17, so.
Yeah.
Go back to sleep. Good girl.
Yeah, they've trained them to be a fucking guard dog of a fucking their warehouse, and it's like,
I'll wear my Doc Martens. They won't bother me. Covers my ankles.
I was like, I'm not getting bit. I don't know where these dogs are from. But,
oh shit. Just seeing if there's anything decent going on in the world. I've been putting together some stuff. So I got an interesting concept I've been working on. Is I've been paying attention to the for sale ads, the classifieds, whatever the hell you want to call them. I've been watching for a cheap motorcycle with a blown engine. Why? Because I have my entire parts list, so I can convert it over to electric and still run 80 plus miles per hour. Now, here's the thing. You take a motor out of a motorcycle, that's a hell of a lot of space for putting a battery pack in, so you can get a lot of power out of that. I don't know where that came from. I just out of nowhere. I was trying to come up with something fun. um, world.
If you're looking for a motorcycle, I know where you can get one.
Really?
Yeah, but it's going to cost you $25,000.
Yeah, no. I'm looking for like under $500 for one with no motor. So just a cycle.
Okay, well, how about $2,000 and I'll just take the motor?
No.
Well, because it's a Harley.
I've seen Harleys for under $1,000 with no motor. I just wasn't ready for them back then.
All right, then I'll do $900 and I get to keep the motor and I can still make $25,000.
I'll give you $500 for the bike frame.
But there's only one little catch with it, though.
What's that?
Have to repaint it
Okay.
because you won't be able to ride it with the paint job that's on it.
Why is that?
I am not going to say on the podcast.
That inappropriate?
Yeah, it's not something I'm putting on the podcast.
Gotcha.
Yeah, no. You know the reason why on that one.
I don't, but I'm sure you'll tell me after we're done recording.
I've told you several times. When we used to live on Hall Ave, my plan that I had to take care of a certain person that was terrorizing us.
We'll talk about it after we're done recording.
The memory, it'll re-jog your memory after that.
Let's see.
That's all right. The wife just told me the bike's not for sale.
Gotcha.
She goes, "You're not selling my father's motorcycle."
Okay, gotcha.
And buy me a boat. Just saying.
And there ain't shit going on in the world that's positive right now. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through the news. There ain't.
Oh, great. Now you got me looking at fucking motorcycles, asshole.
Wow. There is just nothing positive going on in this world right now. It's kind of sad. At least not in the news.
Let's see what's going on TMZ for the fuck of
it. Yeah, there ain't shit. It's all, excuse me, shootings and stabbings and politics and COVID and bullshit.
No.
Yeah, there ain't shit. This is the frustrating part of this these days. Oh wait, hey, I got a good story here. Hang on, bring it up. Over 1,000 bikes given away to the Syracuse community Sunday morning. Sunday wasn't the best day for a bike ride, but it was a beautiful day to get the gift of one. On South Salina Street, the CNY Bicycle Giveaway donated about 1,500 used and refurbished bikes to the community. The organizer of the event, Jan Maloff, started the effort with local police as a Christmas tradition, but they decided to add this back-to-school giveaway to lift spirits during the pandemic. Syracuse police officer Marlena Jackson said, "A lot of stores don't have bicycles right now, with COVID and stores being out of stock and all. So if we can do something for the community and get them together and spend time together, mission accomplished." Maloff is already making plans for his regular holiday giveaway, which is scheduled for the Saturday before Christmas. If you are in the Syracuse and Central New York area and have a bike to donate, call Jan Maloff at 315-530-7751. His volunteers are ready to fix any bike, no matter what shape they're in. So Good news. That makes me happy to have good news.
Yes, and they are a legit service.
Mm-hmm. Let me see. That's awesome. I'm glad I found some good news.
Looking for that one. Oh, I know where I can find that one. Give me a minute. Right there. TMZ Sports. Friday Night Lights' most incredible game-winning touchdown ever. Forget the Music City Miracle. The Hillcrest High School football team just scored the wildest, greatest touchdown ever. It went down Friday night when the team was playing rival high school. Hillcrest was down 30-28 with 2.9 seconds left in the game on their own 41-yard line. So it's do or die.
Is that the one I sent to you?
Yes. Quarterback Ethic Crawford passed the ball to the running back in the flat. So that's when the craziest start. One of the craziness starts. Watch a various play get the ball via a total of 9 counts. Count them, 9 laterals.
Damn.
At times the ball is fumbled and picked up. At times the runner is tackled, but not before throwing the ball in the air with the hopes of a teammate will catch it. The 2.9 second play lasted 59 seconds in almost pedantic fashion. Quarterback Crawford is the last person with the ball and run an untouched 46 yards for the game-winning touchdown.
Nice.
Patrick Mahomes, watch your back.
9 laterals.
9 laterals.
That's fucking impressive.
And then the last one they had it just threw in the air, hope someone caught it, and the quarterback caught
Here, let's see if I can put this video up real fast, and I'll put it in the.
it. He's definitely being drafted.
Skip the ad. Holy crap. Wow. That was fucking intense and awesome all at the same time. Damn.
It's a little bit of good news for sports, I guess, for local high school team.
Well, and that's the thing. The fact that it's a high school team playing like that, that's impressive. I mean, I could see, like, if that was a pro team playing like that, that'd be
Or even a college,
cool.
or even college, but
yeah.
To have kids like that playing like that, it's definitely going to change a lot of dynamics for picks for college this year, I guess.
Huh.
Tom Brady, as he comes to the realization that he really is just a system quarterback. Due to the fact that, yes, his team actually lost today.
I haven't even had a chance to look at sports yet.
I will, you know what? I will pull up my NFL app right now and I'll read off the scores for everybody.
All I know is the Bills won.
Yes. Monday night's game is actually the Steelers versus the Giants. Go Steelers. Tonight's game actually right now is in the second quarter with 12 minutes left in the game in the first half. And they're tied up with the Rams 7-7. Titans also play tomorrow night after the Steelers. Here's the final scores for some of the teams that had played today. Actually, Thursday night actually was the Texans versus the Chiefs. Chiefs actually won 34-20. Sunday's games, Packers versus Vikings. Packers won 43-34. Final score for the Jets and Bills game. Bills 27, Jets 17.
Fuck the Jets. Go Bills.
A lot of upsets.
Yes, actually, there was an upset actually for Washington football team. They're no longer called the Washington Redskins.
What are they calling them now?
The Washington football team.
Okay. Fuck it.
They played the Philadelphia Eagles.
Not to be confused with the Washington baseball team.
Yeah, not to be confused with the Washington baseball team. So, anyways, the final score for the Eagles and the Washington football team. Washington actually won a home game in many, many years, 27-17.
Nice.
I guess the Redskin curse, the name Redskins must have been a curse. Patriots beat the Dolphins 21-11. Yeah.
Formerly known as the
Go figure when that was pretty close game because they don't have Brady playing for them anymore.
At least the ball was the proper inflated to the proper pressure.
Absolutely. Final score for the Colts and Jaguars. Jaguars 27, Colts 20. Close game. Bears and Lions, also another close game. Bears came out with 27. Lions home came out with 23. Final score for the Raiders and Panthers. Raiders 34, Panthers 30. Another close game.
and you know Jim knows none of these things.
Well, you know. The Baltimore Ravens and the Browns. Ravens beat the Browns 38-6.
So how come the Redskins get in trouble but the Browns don't?
Because I guess that's that's the color of their underwear.
Uh-huh.
Because they're such a horrible team.
Code Brown.
Exactly.
He was smart. He wore the brown pants today.
Seattle Seahawks and Atlanta Falcons. Seahawks came on top with 38. Seattle Seahawks beat the Atlanta Falcons 38-25. Chargers beat the Bengals 16-13. Buccaneers and the Saints. As everybody knows, Tom Brady went to the Buccaneers to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
And they suck ass.
And he sucks ass with the Buccaneers because the Saints came home with the freaking 34-23. With a 2 interceptions off of Brady, with one being a pick six. Another upset, actually, believe it or not, for this Sunday's games was actually the Cardinals beating the 49ers 24-20.
Damn.
Cardinals has been known for a team that just suck and can't do a damn thing, but
it's a bird team. Come on. How tough can the Cardinals be?
exactly.
You hear someone say, I'm a Cardinal, I'm going to get you. You're thinking, ooh, what are you going to peck me to death?
Well, you know.
Come on now.
And, of course, the Cowboys and Rams are playing right now, and, of course, that game's all tied up at 7. So
Now you hear Rams, you're scared. You're thinking, oh, my God, the Rams are going to get me.
I don't know because, I mean, their new logo now, man, it looks more like a cartoon.
What about the Cardinals, though? Are you scared of the Cardinals?
I don't know. I watched Alfred Hitchcock's movie The Birds, so.
Okay, but what about the Dolphins? Are they sound intimidating?
Dolphins will take on a killer whale and defeat it and possibly kill it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Let me ask you this. If you had a cardinal right now that was going to come down and swoop at your head, would you be scared?
Hell yes, I don't like birds.
Oh, see, there you go.
But they're not a fighting team. It's not like you're like, oh, I want to name my team the Cardinals because they're going to kick ass.
Yeah, you know.
They
were.
That's like naming butterflies.
Well, you never know. I mean, it could happen. The Washington Butterflies. There you go. Found a great name for the Washington to change their name from the Redskins to the Butterflies. There you go.
You know what? If it works, fuck it.
Now, that'd be funny if they actually changed their name to the Butterflies, right? And they actually went into the Super Bowl and won it.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
The Butterflies took out
The
Rams.
Washington Butterflies
Took out the Colts.
took out the Indianapolis Colts today in a 34-30 win.
Upset.
Upset.
Those Butterflies really knew how to float down the field.
And the 100th Super Bowl ever played.
Wow.
Whatever number Super Bowl they're on, I don't remember. I was just making it up. Don't mind the commentary in the back there for my wife. It's all good.
I thought you were just talking to Jim. Sorry.
Well, let me know when she bleaches her hair out.
Yeah, I don't think it's anytime soon.
Oh.
Is there any other news that we can discuss? Let's see.
I'm not seeing shit.
What about how all the... Never mind.
Yeah, I got nothing here. Ugh.
Yeah, I don't have anything either.
Well, I think we can hit that wrap up because we're right around that 1 hour mark anyway. So, I'm gonna hit my usual closing with a little bit differently today because usually I talk about how everybody's got the potential to be awesome. Sometimes you got to take a good look at yourself and figure out what changes to make. I gotta tell you, I learned something this past week is that looking at yourself and deciding what changes you need to make is one thing. Taking a long, hard, and brutally honest look at yourself and realizing what changes you should make is a whole different ball game, man. A whole different ball game. But if you're willing to accept what you see in yourself when you really seriously, brutally, honestly look at that mirror, I'll tell you something, you can make your life a lot better, or at least get on track for making it a lot better. So when you sit down and think about changes you can make to be the most awesome you can be, you got to have that brutal honesty in there. You really got to just tear everything apart down to the bare ass bones and then suck out the marrow before you can really know that those are the changes you have to make. So I want to caveat that and be like, take a good, hard, honest look at yourself all the way down and make sure you're making the changes that have to be made. And then you can be the most awesome version of you can be. And you can do it because we have faith in you, because I know I've spent this past week doing that myself. So, you can do it. That's all I got, Bill. I just want to say thanks to everybody for listening, watching. Just keep, join us again next week. We'll be back for more.
I just real fast. I want to touch back from 9/11 real fast. I want to thank all the firefighters and EMTs and police officers for all the hard work they do each and every day to serve and protect us and, of course, everybody across this great nation. So my hat goes off to you guys, and thank you for the job that you guys keep doing.
Yes. Thank you to all the first responders. Thank you to the military. I mean, these are the people that without whom life just wouldn't happen, period.
Absolutely.
So huge thank you to them. Huge shout out. Thank you, everybody. And thank you to the listeners, too, because you know what? You guys are, well, no, we do it anyway, but thank you for listening because it makes it feel like we're doing it for somebody.
Well, not just listening, watching, too.
That, too. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week. We will catch you next week. And Bill?
Have a great week.
Carol fucking Baskin. Catch you later.
It's not working for me.